Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our Get Better Faster scope and sequence um, part of the training. We need to familiarize ourselves with this tool because this is what we are going to use when we are doing observations and feedback for coaching. What does it look like? It looks like this. This is what it looks like. These are the action steps that we could use to launch a teacher's development to help. So, but before we do that, let's discuss first the key components or key items in here. Okay, so we know that in every there's always three stages to or phases to a lesson in a classroom. Depending on where you are, what phase it is that you feel that the lesson is or the actual class is, that's where you are going to start with your coaching. So there's three phases: phase one, phase two, and phase three. And within each phase, there is always going to be two trajectories, meaning there's two ways to go to look at a class, okay, and in its phases. So one of them is going to be the management trajectory, which is usually referred to as for the how it classroom management wise, okay, or the rigor trajectory, which is referring to a lot of times instruction. If we deem that the class is needing more on the rigor trajectory, then we are looking at it as it's going to be instruction related. And whereas management trajectory is usually how the class is being managed, classroom itself. So in this particular training, we're going to have to utilize and learn when we'll use what trajectory. And this is important because after you realize what trajectory you're going to be using, those are the specific action steps that we are going to take. And that's going to be the side of the scope and sequence that we are going to use. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so that way we don't, we have most of us are visual. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said in here, it's always, these are all the top action steps that you can use. So on a phase one, develop essential routines and procedures. What we're going to end up doing is this. When you are observing a class, right? And then you notice certain things, and it's going to fall into two categories. Again, you're going to observe that, hey, is the classroom needing more of a management or rigor? That's where you're going to start looking at. So how will that phase or how will that look like? Phase one, in essence, is when you see basic issues that is coming along in the classroom that you observe. It usually essential routines and procedures. If there's any type of breakdown in routines and procedures, then you will most likely focus your efforts on these right here. So the routines and procedures 101, you're going to design, roll out a plan, and you practice. And again, I don't want to go through each of these because we are going to get a copy of this. All right. And then maybe at this point, if you notice that the classroom or the teacher needs a stronger voice, then this is when you deem it that, hey, that is what this teacher needs. And if they can just fix that particular problem, then, they have a chance of doing well in the class. So this is where that management trajectory comes in. Now, let's say, for example, you are observing a class and you see that that teacher does not have any problems with routines, does not have any problems with strong voice. But, the lesson planning could be better. In other words, it's a little bit helter-skelter. They don't have a specific objective, things that are referring to the actual lesson itself. Then you might want to transfer to the rigor side. And you can say, yeah, this is where if we can fix this part, then we should be good to go. So again, this is the trajectory side of things. So what would it look like is you develop effective lessons if that's what you feel that the teacher is needing at that time. Again, based on what you see and observe in the classroom, right? So what might that look like is, you're observing a class, the students definitely know and understand the procedures and routines. But let's just say the class has no precise understanding of what the objective is. So students are well behaved, but they just don't know what is going on in terms of the actual lesson. So maybe you can, at that point, not maybe, but you could start with, will the teacher internalize the lesson plan? Those are the kinds of feedback that you'll be able to give a teacher. Again, so this is where we are looking at when we're dealing with our observations. So there's two sides. There's a management trajectory, which deals with a classroom, usually issues, and then the rigor trajectory, which usually deals with academic or instructional concerns that we have. Now, so let's try the next one, the phase two. This is the rollout and monitor routines. So, for example, on a phase two, you notice that the teacher is already, the problem is that not that they have no routines. The problem is not that the teacher has a strong voice or the students listen, but students are just not clear on the examples or the expectations at that point. So maybe that part, you'll notice that that's going to be a management issue again, and that could be the specific action that you can give a teacher is like what to do, and then you can give hints, or you can give specific coaching piece on that one. Again, on this side, independent practice, this is the side that you guys can use. I don't want to spend all the time in here with this. The reason being is, guys, is that you will have this copy with you, and once you familiarize yourself with the different action steps on each trajectory, you will learn that that you'll be able to utilize them in the specific area that we need. Again, monitor aggressively is always going to be on the. Actually, that could be a twofold, but in this particular case, it's on the instructional side because you want to be able to monitor it aggressively with exemplar in your hand, right? And then again, we can discuss that in terms of, it's here. It's on the basics of, so you just take a look at it that way. Again, whole class reset will fall into the category of phase two. What that looks like is that when you know that you guys already had something going on pretty well, but then things just kind of fell apart as time went on, you might have to do a quick reset. So that's a whole class reset. Teacher radar, when you have to know when students are off task. Again, this goes hand in hand with monitoring, right? Aggressively. Teacher radar is just you having a moment to scan the classroom and just be aware. Circulate the room with a purpose. Again, I'm going through these with the idea that you guys are going to look at your own paper or worksheet on this, because this is what you guys will use as you are actually coaching your teachers, right? And then again, the idea of this particular exercise that we're showing right now is that for you guys just to know when to use what trajectory and which action steps fall into what category or trajectory. Building momentum, pacing, you guys can pretty much already know where it will fall based on, if you just know the descriptors of what the action steps are, then you'll be able to tell, okay, it's going to be on the management side, and they're going to need individual student corrections, or they have to narrate the positive, then engage all students. That's their problem, is not engaging all students, the whole thing. Usually we go straight to all of these on the management side, but don't forget also that sometimes the problem is going to be on the instruction side. The hardest part in all of these, teachers, is this. You have to know where the waterfall is. What do I mean by that? You have to know, based on your analysis and based on your observation, you have to know what is the root problem of the specific classroom that you're looking at. They call that the waterfall, because you have to be able to find the biggest source of the prioritization of where the problem is. So in other words, They could have problems. Sure, they could have a problem with engaging all students. They could have a problem with, uh, not being able to teach a radar. But what if the major real issue that you have to start with first is you have to have a strong routine. So you have to start where you feel the basic root of the issue is. Because, why is that? Because then you're able to start from the foundation of fixing the problem rather than topical solutions. So we have to be able to get to the root of the foundational issues so we can address the foundational issues. The understanding is that by fixing the foundational issues, then we can start stacking and stacking different ways so that way we can get better quickly and have a solid foundation. So in essence, that's what the scope and sequence really is. And we just needed to take the time to be able to know that what is this for or when we are to use this. Again, you will have to use this every time you go through a classroom so that way you can identify where it is that you will be able to make the proper action steps. Now, well, let's talk about action steps, right? When we do action steps, the most basic idea is this: don't overwhelm, sprinkle them with ideas for bite-sized, doable suggestions. That is clear, doable suggestions that we can be measured quickly or within a week. So it have to be quantifiable, it has to be measurable, and we have to put a time on it. We can't. So that's in essence what the scope and sequence is for Get Better Faster and how to use this.